UFO's official position is not to speculate on this subject. We can choose to let our minds explore other possibilities, to use our imaginations. For if we consider that astroscientists agree on one point, that the possibility of life elsewhere is not only quite probable, some feel it is there without a doubt. Let us suppose then that these objects are real space vehicles, extraterrestrial in origin, and not an illusion of the mind.
There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide at all.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Somewhere in the Live Stream. I'm your host, Ryan Sprague, and we got a lot to talk about tonight, but also we're going to keep things super casual, too. Let's see. I mean, I got a ton of stories, but we'll do a Q&A, too. How's that sound? Ask me anything. Throw your questions in the chat. Let's just throw caution to the wind tonight because, as some of you may or may not know, I'm leaving Scotland this upcoming week for about a month and a half. I'm going to be going to film my TV show Haunted in Nova Scotia. So I'm going to be honest, I don't know what's going to happen with the live stream. I'm not saying we're not doing it, but time might change, day might change, or nothing might change. So I'll have updates on that moving forward on my social media. But if you are just joining us, welcome to Somewhere in the Live Stream. We are here tonight on our usual night at our usual time, and we cover all the latest UFO and space news. And tonight's going to be bonkers. We got some fun stories. We got some endearing stories, some weird ones. We're going to get some ufological whiplash. That's for damn sure. But hello to all our regulars out there. I see Pat is here, Nisa, Jeffrey Gareth. Hello, Sitzers. Donnie Falls is here. Carol is here. Robert Zimmer. Jim is here. Welcome, welcome. Johan. Hello. Robert is here. Ruth Bradford. And of course, our wonderful moderator, Suzanne, who's back home and recovering from her incredible vacation. Man, if you guys aren't following her on Twitter, you got to go follow her on Twitter and check out her photos. They're amazing. They're amazing. But let me see here. So, the questions are coming in already. Put them in. We'll star those guys, or if you want to put them in the super chat, that way I will definitely see them, and you will definitely be helping out the show. It's a great, easy, quick way to help out the show. Super chat, super stickers will be open all night to take your questions and comments. Every penny goes right back in to helping the show. That goes for super chat. That goes for that little barcode thingy, QR code. Sorry, I got to get up with the times. That you see there, you can go ahead and scan that and do buy me a coffee as well. These are all one-time ways to help out the show. Hello to Gandalf. I love that name. Richard is here as well. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Oh, one other thing. We are still running the GoFundMe campaign for my wonderful sister, my one and only sister, Christy. And for those of you who are not aware or haven't seen on my social media, she adopted a incredible French bulldog named Maddie about a year and a half ago or so. And Maddie's been going through a lot of health issues, major health issues. And it has racked up quite the medical bill for Christy, and it's a bit overwhelming, to be completely honest. And she is not one to ever ask anyone for help, and I've always respected that about her. And she's also willing to do anything for anyone, and that goes for animals as well. She works at an animal hospital, but now she needs our help. So if you can help in any small or big way, please consider donating to the GoFundMe for Christy and Maddie. We will have a link in the show notes or in the chat as well. There we go. Thank you, Suzanne. I appreciate that. And again, every penny helps my sister tremendously as we get closer and closer to reaching our goals. So thank you to any and all of you who have donated. It's truly appreciated. If you can't help financially, please just share the GoFundMe campaign. That's all we could ever ask. And yeah, that's gonna do it for begging for money tonight, guys. Let's get to some stories. But I do want to say thank you to Jim for the super sticker. Truly do appreciate that, my friend. Hello to all work low pay as well. I missed somebody. David is here. The Vagabond Tree. First time here, I caught a live. Sweet. I was going to ask about James Webb. Ooh, we will get to that. We will get to that later in the show. What is happening? James Webb, what are you doing? What are you doing? Not the man in the telescope, obviously. I don't know what to say. I honestly do not know what to say. I think it was Gareth in the chat was like, Ryan's going to the fridge. What is he getting? Not a beer, but tonight, guys, I'm going classy. I got a nice Malbec from Argentina. So, ooh, Suzanne gave me the thumbs up. I love it. I'm going classy tonight, guys. I ran out of beer. Whiskey, was not feeling the whiskey. I'm not feeling too good tonight. I'm going to be completely honest. So go easy on me. But that does not stop me from drinking some fermented grapes. That's for sure. Cheers, guys. That's pretty good. Okay. Where do we begin? Well, we begin where any good YouTuber begins, and that's talking about another YouTuber. How about a YouTuber from Vietnam? Let's start with this story tonight, guys. This is so cool. So, a YouTuber built a UFO jetboat. This story comes to us from The Sun, which is a very highly respected and reputable newspaper here in the UK. I'm kidding. But it is a really cool story. So, genius craftsman Tran Long Ho from Vietnam came up with the wild idea, and he filmed an entire video about this, and it's already racked up over 10 million views over on YouTube. That was a few days ago. Can't even imagine what it's at right now. But he literally built from scratch a flying saucer that could go in the water. Now, I watched the entire video in real time. It is about an hour long of him literally from like the initial sketches of this thing to building the entire thing from scratch, including all of the engine and the mechanical things that go into this. I mean, you can see the images if you're watching this on YouTube of him like soldering things together, and it's just amazing. It's just so cool. Let me see. He inscribed a message on the UFO that says the universe is vast and life is endless. I love that. Before I go further with the story, which is basically just kind of going through how he built it and everything, I made a fun condensed version of him building this. You know, when you speed things up. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for you guys, and then we're going to watch this thing in its element, put out into the water. So I thought we'd start with a really cool, fun story tonight. So let's go ahead and play this video with the UFO built by Tran Long Ho. Give this a watch.
Connection established.
I'm speechless. Like, how do you even react to something like that other than incredible? Absolutely incredible. I just wow. The ingenuity, the passion, the wherewithal as an engineer to create something like that. And for what? YouTube? I guess. I mean, he's a pretty big YouTuber. I didn't show it in the video because I didn't want to, get too much of a copyright strike. But he actually has a drone come in and land right where the doors on the UFO are and hand him one of those YouTube awards for getting like, I don't know, 100 million subscribers or something. So again, this dude like just went all out for this and it was so cool. Talk about like a transmedium vehicle, right? It did. It got into the air a couple times. I saw it go off the little waves there. So, yeah, I thought that was cool. Some of the comments on YouTube were pretty awesome too on this. Someone said, "Never in my life have I seen so much talent in one individual. You are a gift to all mankind." Someone else said, "If he can build something so sophisticated in his backyard, imagine what he can do with a fully equipped workshop." So true. A third person added, "I am a retired engineer with 73 years of experience. This video brought me back to when I was a young boy." So cool. Jim says, "How many of the 5 observables is he doing? Fast speed, transmedium, travel." Yeah, what are the other observables? Someone remind me. It's been a while. We'll see how many that he got up to on that. Mr. Ho has made quite the name for himself as an online inventor. Other videos on YouTube show him building a yacht and even restoring cars. And it's clear how much the flying saucer jet boat cost to make. Excuse me, it's not clear how much it costs to make. But on a different project, he revealed that he spent about 700 euros. That's not a lot, to be completely honest, for what he made to be like able to go in the water and function properly, safely. I hope at least. So that was pretty awesome. I thought we would start with a fun thing to get us all pumped for tonight. I do want to give a special shout out and thank you to Like Spinning Pats for the super chat. I got a live one. You got one, my man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You picked a heck of a live one to show up to. That's for sure. Let me see. I came in to see a UFO skipping on water, says Rita Content. Well, I'm glad I delivered, my friend. That's all anyone could ever ask is to see a UFO skipping on water. Isn't that how Kenneth Arnold described the original flying saucers? Like rocks skipping off water? Boom. It all comes around, guys. It all comes around. Let's move to Saskatchewan. Bet you didn't expect me to say that. Yeah, going to Canada, guys, for our next story. This is pretty cool. That is Leo Fur. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're seeing an image of a gentleman, and then you're seeing an image to the left of him of 5 flying saucers. I actually think, yeah, 5. Yeah, I can count. And this is from a quote unquote kind of famous case that took place in Saskatchewan. So, a 50-year-old story of UFOs at a farm near Langenburg, Saskatchewan, is being celebrated by Canada's Post Office and the Canadian Royal Mint with a new coin. This is so cool. So, they're making coins of all of these famous Canadian UFO cases. I believe there's one for the Stan Michalek close encounter in Falcon Lake. I believe there's one for the Shag Harbor UFO crash. Wink, wink. I'm going to be talking about a lot about Shag Harbor in the coming weeks. Stay tuned for that. But this case is also pretty famous in rural Saskatchewan. Leo first said that his brother Edwin reported seeing UFOs while swathing his canola farm on the morning of September 1st, 1974. According to the RCMP incident report from 74, there were 5 different distinct circles caused by something exerting what had to be heavy air or exhaust pressure over high grass. Leo, now 85 years old, said his memories are still as clear as day about that incident. So I'm going to go ahead and play a fun local clip from the CBC about this incident. And yeah, I hope you guys will enjoy it, and we'll talk a little bit more about it on the other side.
Ago, some residents of Langenburg made headlines around the world. People in the community not far from the Manitoba border in central Saskatchewan say they saw flying saucers in their town. And 5 decades later, people there are still talking about those unidentified flying objects, or UFOs. That includes Jonathan Fuhr, nephew of Edwin Fuhr, the man who said he saw the UFOs. Jonathan has been farming that same land for the last 27 years.
But when we were kids, I mean, it was dubbed at some point the UFO capital of Saskatchewan or whatever for sightings.
The incident was so significant, it's now being recognized by Canada Post and the Royal Canadian Mint. Known as the Langenburg event, it's the 7th coin in Canada's Unexplained Phenomena series of coins. It's 1 ounce of pure silver, and you can purchase it online for $140.
My brother was swathing, and he was swathing over on that knoll there.
Leo Fuhr reached the farm a couple of hours after the alleged sightings on the morning of September 1st, 1974.
We were shocked because the imprints were there, and they were about 8 feet in diameter, and they were like a donut, and the grass was swept one way. So definitely there was something spinning in that grass.
Ron Morier was the RCMP constable on duty when people claimed to see the UFOs. It was just his first year in Langenburg that morning in 1974. And he says what happened next is forever in his memory.
It was a bit baffling. I'd never in my career up to that point, had to investigate anything like this, so it was not your everyday investigation.
According to the RCMP incident report, what was left behind was 5 different distinct circles caused by something exerting what had to be heavy air or exhaust pressure over the high grass. 5 crop circles, an event weird enough to grab local and worldwide headlines.
I was surprised. I thought, well, what the heck, maybe my brother was seeing things and that. But until I saw the rings, seeing is believing.
And that wasn't the only time the people of Langenburg reported UFO sightings. Some people say they saw the saucers again in 1989.
50 years of experience in newspapers, yeah, I'm the kind of, you just sort of develop a, I got to see it to believe it attitude. But at the same time, there's that, wow, there's something got to be something there.
Not surprisingly, details of the UFO sighting remain unclear. But the crop fields from half a century ago continue to be a landmark in the community's history, now etched in time with a commemorative coin.
How cool is that, guys? Wow. What a case. I'm actually going to be doing an entire episode on this Saskatchewan case in the very near future. So if you want to learn more about it and get my playwrighty dramatic account, you know me. I hire actors to do the voices of the witnesses. I get the music behind it. I try to go all out for those. So I hope you'll enjoy it, and I can't wait to bring that to you very soon. I see we have Rob Christofferson in the chat, who says there is also a coin commemorating the mothership sighting in Yukon. Yes, the 96 Yukon case. That's one I've never covered as well. Guys, if you're not familiar with Rob Christofferson, he is the former host of the, wow, I almost said Somewhere in the Skies. Sorry, Rob. The Our Strange Skies podcast. And he is also the author of this brand new book that you see on my shelf here. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little look at this. It came in the mail yesterday. I'm so happy that it made it here to Scotland. And basically, Rob and Todd Purse, an artist, have been creating these online like one-offs of famous humanoid cases throughout the years. And they are so amazing, so detailed. And they finally came out with a print version. And you can get this now, guys. It is so, so cool. Welcome, UFO people. I love the cover. just look at some of these things. First of all, they have an incredible forward, I guess it would be, from Steve Berg, which is really, really cool, friend of the show. You got the Gondola Man right there, signed by Rob himself, which is so cool. And yeah, it's just like, look at this thing. I was showing it to Jane earlier, and she was astounded at just like how vibrant this thing is. And it goes through all of these cases in like one page. Oh, amazing, amazing. So I am suggesting, I know there's a limited amount of the first batch available of these guys. We do have a link for it in the show notes, and we should have one in the chat as well. If you guys haven't already, go order this. It is amazing. I can't wait for more to come out. Again, that's Welcome UFO People Volume 1, available on Big Cartel right now. Check it out. Oh, more Gondola Man. They did it amazing, people. You can learn more at welcomeUFOpeople.com as well. So thank you, Rob. Thank you, thank you. Make sure it's up there nice. Boom. Still on display. All right, guys. I literally just glitched out. And you want to know why? Because of Jaime Maussan. He's back. He's back in the news, and it's not about mummies, if you can believe it. It is not about the mummies this time. What is it about? It's about his Airbnb. So, you guys want to stay at Jaime Maussan's house with him and have him cook you dinner? Well, you can. Jaime Maussan is offering a free one-night stay in his forest cabin that Airbnb says will be out of this world. In a deal promoted through the booking platform, Maussan will welcome 2 guests, preferably UFO enthusiasts, into his home for an overnight stay on October 5th during World Space Week. Among other perks, the guests will get to enter the bunker where Maussan keeps evidence of his research on extraterrestrials, UFOs, and undiscovered planets. The booking process, which will commence on September 25th at 11 a.m., is not a contest, Airbnb wrote in announcing this promotion. However, Maussan will determine the winner by reviewing and assessing each application. The booking does not include transportation. His cabin, which is touted as having a great view of the heavens, is located in the Desierto de los Leones National Park, a 1,500 acre woodland reserve in the southwestern area, Greater Mexico City. It includes a sky viewing room with a telescope. Let me see here. I'm going to show you guys this place because I am dying to go here. Actually, good friend of the show, colleague Jason McClellan, has actually gone to Jaime Maussan's house, or this cabin, and he said, say what you will about Jaime Maussan, this house is like incredible. It's magical. So just look at this thing. Like, here's the exterior. It looks like a Hobbit home in the best of ways. This is the living room. Oh my God. It's just, the wood is just gorgeous. There's a bedroom with a queen size bed. Looks like you got some hammock action going on there. The kitchen area. I mean, there you go. Who doesn't want to work at that desk? Tell me you do not want to investigate and research UFOs at that desk. And then, like they said, he's got this incredible telescope viewing room where you can look out those kind of space-agey windows. Just amazing. Oh, that's our next story. Incredible. Just absolutely incredible. So yeah, if you guys want to be the ones to stay at night for free, mind you, for free at Jaime Maussan's amazing pad there, you can apply right now at Airbnb. We do have a link to it in the show notes. So you can apply for that, and hopefully he'll pick you. In addition to the researcher chatting with the guests about his theories, so Jaime will be there with you guys. There will also be an ancestral meal prepared by Maussan himself. We've included a link in the show notes, like I said. So there you go, guys. If you want a homemade dinner by Jaime Maussan, it's all there for you. All you got to do is apply. Maybe there'll be some mummy cake for dessert. I don't know. I said it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to do it. What do you guys say in the chat? I'm so curious. Let's see. Is that in dollars? Oh, I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Hello to Paranormal Pixie. Welcome to Scape VFX as well. Oh, James Craig is here. Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much. Really enjoying the freeform show today. Yes, the UFO people. Absolutely. I mean, never went away. He's the Undertaker meme. Good reference. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, it's the meme where I think it's AJ Styles, the wrestler, is like, getting ready to go down to the ring, and the Undertaker's looming behind him, just staring. It's amazing. It's amazing. Hello to Amy over at Good Morning UFO. How cool, hanging with Jaime for an overnight stay. Honestly, I would do it just to say I did it. Again, it's just a promotion between Airbnb and Jaime. If I don't have to pay for it, fine. I mean, you would have to travel to Mexico City. So that's one cost you would have to shell out for. Richard said, no thanks. I thought you were going to almost say one night stand. There better be coffee. I'm sure there will. My friend. Special hello to All Things Unexplained. Go subscribe, guys, to that podcast as well if you have not already. Can Jaime be trusted to host guests? Ouch. I don't know. Rob says, I wouldn't mind writing my book in that place, right? Oh, man. It looked beautiful. And it's in a national reserve. God, I can't even imagine what that cost is. Yeah, Johan says, where do you get the money to build that house? Try 30 years of promoting fairies and things like that. Apply, Ryan. I can't. I'm going to be gone, unfortunately. I have other duties during that time. Sprague Cannery is here. Welcome to my neighbors to the north in Canada, Sprague Cannery. Guys, if you're in Canada, check out all of their stuff. They were incredibly kind to send my family a whole Christmas gift basket of Sprague Cannery goods, beans, all organic stuff. It was so cool. I'm so thankful for them doing that. And we still have a bunch of them. We've saved them to this day as mementos. So, check out Sprague Cannery if you can, guys, up there in Canada. They're amazing. What's going on with the James Webb story? I'll get there. I promise. What is going on is the question. I got a couple polls. Got one on Twitter. I got one here on YouTube. So I'll go to those later. Let me see. Richard says, I would love an Airbnb at Willie Strieber's old cabin. Ooh. Suzanne and I are both shaking our heads. No. You are a braver man than we are, Richard. Not a chance. The closest I ever came to something like that was I spent a weekend in up in Rob's neck of the woods, actually, in upstate New York. I stayed with a group of 4 or 5 alien abductees for a whole weekend. We stayed in an old log cabin with Mike Clellan, the owl guy, and I was writing my book at the time, and I thought this would be an incredible experience to put in the book. So the naive writer in me was like, yay, awesome, cool chapter for the book. And then when I was there, I thought to myself, holy shit, I'm with 5 alien abductees. What if tonight was the night that one of them was going to be abducted? Was I going to be abducted? And I had a weird experience. I'm not going to lie. A subjective experience, mind you, but I do write about it in my first book, Somewhere in the Skies, A Human Approach to the UFO Phenomenon. I almost forgot the subtitle of my own book. So you can learn more about that in my book. I know it scares the crap out of Rob every time I retell it. Thank you so much to the Vagabond Tree for the super chat. I truly do appreciate that. Where was I going with all this? Yeah, I would not stay in Whitley Strieber's cabin. No, thank you. No, not happening. But I would stay at Jaime Maussan's place because it looks amazing. Okay, moving on. I think. Hold on. Are we moving on? Yeah, we're moving on to our next story, guys. And this is little, I guess, sad if you're a big proponent of the UAPDA and all the government disclosure crap. I shouldn't have said crap, but that's kind of where we're at right now with all of it. Womp womp. Yeah, Suzanne, I agree with you. So, the UAP Disclosure Act for 2025 is officially dead. An unprecedented Senate amendment aimed at increasing transparency on UAP, introduced by U.S. Senators Mike Rounds and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, has been excluded from the Senate's National Defense Authorization Act of 2025 Manager's Package. It was seen as the final opportunity for the amendment to be considered for inclusion in law within the finalized version of the NDAA. And I should mention that this story comes to us from Liberation Times with Chris Sharp. So go ahead and check out his website, and you can learn more about this story. I might have put a link in the show notes. I don't think I did. But let's continue reading here. As a result, the amendment known as the UAP Disclosure Act will not form part of any negotiations with the House of Representatives as they finalize the NDAA 2025, which is expected to be signed into law by Joe Biden. If the act had passed, the president would have appointed 9 impartial citizens to a newly established UAP Records Review Board overseen by the Senate's Committee on Homeland Security and Government Affairs. This board would have overseen the collection, review, and public disclosure of UAP records and had the authority to examine materials, solicit testimonies, and gather additional witnesses and whistleblowers. The establishment of the review board would prevent government agencies and individuals accused of involvement with illegal UAP programs from investigating and exonerating themselves. This board would eliminate their direct influence over the government's current UAP office, the All-Domain Resolution Office. Lastly, the UAPDA's inclusion within the manager's package hinged upon support from the Committee on Homeland Security and Government Affairs due to its potential oversight role and involvement in controlled UAP disclosure campaign, should it have been passed. However, sources state that the UAPDA failed to be included within the manager's package due to resistance from the committee's Republican ranking member, Senator Rand Paul. Notably, in 2021, Rand Paul implied that $22 million secured by the late Senator Harry Reid for a UAP program, which was ATIP, was a bad use of government money. Despite repeated failures to pass the UAPDA, new UAP hearings are expected in the coming months within both the Senate and House, one of which we will get to in just a second here. So there you go, guys. Dead. Rest in peace, UAPDA. Not happening. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. Part of me was like, would have been cool to get this review board and everything. But I'm telling you right now, like, it was this whole eminent domain thing. It was a horrible idea, in my personal opinion. Absolutely horrendous. Whoever worded that, whoever drafted that part of it, the gall, the, I guess, naive ambition to put something like that in there and think it was actually going to work and pass. Maybe they did that on purpose because they actually didn't want it to pass. But my God, I'm telling you right now, it was the eminent domain thing. I've been against that from the very start. I know many have been. Even people who worked with the Pentagon are like, no, the UAPDA must not pass because this eminent domain thing is redonkulous. So, yeah. I don't know. What? Imagine trying to legal. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Suzanne's coming in clutch there. Yeah. Like if this had all come to pass, what would have happened? Or even like making sure it happened. Like the fact that someone like David Grush is coming forward and saying like all of these things work with no oversight and things are moved to private companies and whatever DOE who doesn't have to answer to anyone, or things are moved around constantly. So there's no like tracking these things down. There would be no quote unquote like retrieval of these possible craft that have been recovered and whatever reverse engineered because they just keep moving the stuff all around. How would you ever really enforce a lot of these things to begin with? I don't know. I'm not saying it's all bad by any stretch. There were 3 provisions that remained, I think. I don't. Oh wait, yes, I do have those. Good job, Past Ryan. These were the 3 provisions that remained. Comptroller General of the U.S. Review of All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, sunset of requirements relating to audits of unidentified anomalous phenomena, historical record report, and funding limitations relating to UAP. So I don't know. I think these are kind of weak. Some people think they're fine, but those are still there. So cool, I guess. I don't know. I know I'm coming off very apathetic to all of this, guys, but I'm so exhausted with all of this stuff. Not so much Arrow, but the congressional stuff, the bureaucracy things. There's a place for it. Don't get me wrong. Like the work being done by UAP Caucus, Dean Johnson does incredible work as well. And that's fair. There's so many ways to try to tackle UFO disclosure. But all I can stress is don't rely on the United States government to do this for us. It's never going to happen. Never. It doesn't matter how much we try to put things through like this. It's just never going to work. There's always going to be someone at the top who puts a stamp down on this. So do your own research. Have your own disclosures. Talk to people about UFOs. I know that doesn't mean things to a lot of people. Like just hearing stories. Like that's not evidence. I get it. But like I'm just tired of all this stuff when it comes to trying to get this stuff through. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Joseph says, you're exhausted, Ryan. Try 50 years. Yeah. We've been here. Been here so many times before. But that does not stop Congress members from trying. And we should applaud that. We should. And one of those people who has been getting the thoughts, the opinions, the insights, I would say more opinion than anything, from Congress members is Matt Laszlo over at Ask a Poll. And he was the one to find out and confirm that there will be a House hearing on UFOs. So no matter if the UAPDA goes through or not, which it doesn't look like it is going to in any shape or form, Congress members are still trying to get what they can. And one of those people is Nancy Mace. Askapol's Matt Laszlo recently caught up with Representative Nancy Mace about the rumored House UFO hearing, and here is what she had to say. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip here, guys. Special thanks to Matt Laszlo and Askapol. I highly suggest you go over to askapol.com and subscribe there, guys, and get the podcast version of all of these sound bites that Matt gets from these Congress members. But here is Nancy Mace talking about the upcoming, yes, it is still happening, UAP hearing in the House. Check it out.
This, and for me, it's about government transparency. How much money and where are we spending this? And then, you know, I want whistleblowers to feel like they can come forward. I want people protected. Every American deserves the right to know how their tax dollars are being spent and what it's being spent on. And if it's no big deal, why hide it?
Right.
So.
Do you know the new head of Arrow? Yeah. I guess Jill Brand's met with him, and she wants to have also November public Senate hearing with armed services over there. Because she wants them to like explain their metrics for uncovering stuff, but then also explain what they can. Detect right now. Like, do you trust them?
I don't trust anybody. Like, I go into these skiffs.
That hurts.
Like,
that hurts.
No, you can't trust anybody. I mean, truly, you can't trust anyone up here. You just can't. But
it's a fucking swamp.
It's a fucking swamp. That is 100% right. It's 100% right.
Yeah.
And it's both sides. But
no, and the media. It's all three sides.
It's all three. But like, I go to these skiffs. I'll go for a briefing in a classified setting. Well, we can't tell you because I'm not read in on. I don't know the name of the program. I'm not read in on it. And then how the hell are we supposed to know how much money is being spent on it and where it's being spent? It's bullshit, as I like to say. And I don't like bullshit. And that's what we deal with a lot up here. That's a reason to have these hearings, get information, have greater transparency, and put the government on the spot at the end of the day. But on the House side, it's my subcommittee that it'll be on. And I've got other people asking to weigh in. I've got other subcommittees that want to
oversight.
Oversight subcommittee on cyber attack and innovation. So it'll be on my sub on oversight.
Cool.
But I've got other people who want to get waved in on. I've got another sub that wants in on it. And I'm like, this is mine first, and I'll decide how we're going to proceed. But I definitely wanted to have someone. I'm going to do this. I'm going to allow others to wave on.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. November 13th is the date of the upcoming UAP House hearing, which will be chaired by Nancy Mace. I seriously doubt I agree on anything politically with Nancy Mace, but I do agree that a lot of this, I mean, we saw it with the David Grush hearing. Members on both sides, whether it's Paulina or, Ocasio, even, like, everyone wants to know where the money is going, where money is being spent. And if they are being spent on special access programs that could have something to do with the recovery of unidentified aerial phenomena, then Congress should be made aware of that. And they're not. So they're in this constant loop of like being in the dark about things and trying to get answers and getting nowhere, and then being like, well, where's the money? Oh, well, we can't tell you that. Yeah, but that's the taxpayers' money. Where's it going? Oh, we can't tell you that. Just, we promise it's going to good things. Cool. Awesome. Love it. So yeah, I do agree that I think we need to find out where a lot of this money is being spent. And yeah, if there are illegal programs going on, like David Grush has said, I have no doubt there are. Whether or not they have to do with, aliens that crashed, whatever, in Italy or Roswell, I don't know. But at the end of the day, like, we do need answers to a lot of this stuff. So it's interesting. I'm curious who will be at the hearing. Not like on the committee or, Congress members, but will there be witnesses? Will there be people giving testimony? That's what interests me. Will we see whistleblowers? Will we see Elizondo or Jay Stratton or something like that? It'll be interesting. November 13th, not too far away. Not too far away. We will have a new United States president by then, which is scary to think about. Will this still even happen? Is the real question. What will be the fallout from the US election? How will that play into this? And where's our damn Senate hearing? Where is it? We were promised this by the end of September. What the hell, man? There's like 1 week left. Wanted this shit to happen before I left for Canada. But apparently it's not happening. At least not anytime soon. From what we're hearing. Possibly maybe by the end of the year, but it's definitely not happening in the next couple weeks. That would be a Senate UAP hearing, and that's supposed to involve Arrow and feature the new director and videos, photos of things Arrow's been looking at and can explain, which again is not the stuff we want to know. Want to know about the unexplains, the catch-all other bin. Remember that, guys? That is a throwback. The old catch-all other bin. We'll see. We'll see what happens. For sure. Tell you what, let's take a quick break, guys, and we're going to move to our final stories of the night. But I'm going to go top off my old Malbec here. You guys go grab a drink. We've got some more stories to bring to you, including the James Webb buzz that's going around on Twitter right now. Also, do we have a new moon? What's going on? Is this Star Wars? I don't know what's happening. We possibly have a new temporary moon. So stick with us, guys. We'll be right back on Somewhere in the live stream with some more awesome stories for you. And yeah, I'll see you in just a moment. Stick around. Hey everyone, Ryan Sprague here, host of Somewhere in the Skies. If you've ever thought about supporting us, we have great 2 easy options for you right now. If you listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, you can click the subscribe button at the top of your Apple feed. Or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/somewhereskies. Both of these options give you the same benefits. Early access to the main show, bonus episodes and content, and priority to ask our guests your listener questions. So, to help support Somewhere in the Skies, click that subscribe button on Apple or visit patreon.com/somewhereskies. Thank you so much for your support and keep looking up. Welcome back, guys, to Somewhere in the live stream. And I got my wine. What are you guys drinking? We got some doozies coming up. That is for sure. Gareth says, save the James Webb story to last. I need to brew a tea. That's fair, man. I'll leave that till closer to the end. I do want to mention if you've been hanging out with us and you just heard that clip featuring Nancy Mace that Matt Laszlo got. There were 2 moments in that clip where things went completely silent. And at first I'm like, oh crap, I messed up the audio recording. No, actually those were intentional. And Matt actually put in asterisks on Ask Paul website. He said there are 2 moments where things go silent. And those 2 silent parts in the interview, according to Laszlo, were because Mace asked to go off the record to discuss sensitive content. Interesting. Wonder what those things are. Wonder if we will ever know. Get at me, Matt. I want to know what was said off the record. Because, that's how easy it is to get off the record stuff. You just say, get at me. And it happens. All right. Let's move to our next story. And a lot of you are not going to like this one, but we have to talk about it. This could win the most ridiculous headline of the year. in my opinion. If you guys saw this headline in the Los Angeles Times recently, you'll know what I'm talking about. The title of this article was "The Pentagon's Former Top UFO Hunter Talks About COVID-19, Haitian Pet Eaters, and Pseudoscience Generally." That's right. We are talking about Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick. This article is written by Michael Hitzik, and it was an interview with Mr. Sean Kirkpatrick, the former head of AARO. Sean Kirkpatrick in this article was interviewed, and he said, and I've got some quotes here, guys, so bear with me because, a lot of this was an interview, but I want you to hear all of these. After painstakingly assembling a team of highly talented and motivated personnel to develop a rational systematic and science-based strategy to investigate these phenomena, we were overwhelmed by a whirlwind of tall tales, fabrication, and secondhand or third-hand retellings of stories that caused a social media frenzy and a significant amount of congressional and executive time and energy spent on investigating these so-called claims. So basically, that is Kirkpatrick saying that a lot of the testimony and witnesses that came to AARO, that it was nothing but just stories. Nothing was backed up with any type of evidence. Therefore, there was nothing that AARO could feasibly investigate. That makes sense. I can't argue that per se. The author of the article, Michael, says Kirkpatrick's observations would be familiar to scientists examining the origins of COVID, a field in which the overwhelming weight of the evidence undermines a partisan theory positing a leak from a Chinese lab, or the rise in anti-vaccine claims, or even those examining the false assertion by the Trump-Vance campaign of Haitian immigrants stealing and eating household pets. Kirkpatrick would respond by saying, all the same elements are there. The whirlwind of fabrications and the social media frenzies, the distracting effects on Congress and the White House, not to mention the complicity of the news media. The modern media cycle drives stories faster than sound research. Science and peer review timelines can validate them. In my case, I've been accused of lying to the American people. In response to the claims of crashed UFOs and retrievals of aliens, such as what Grush brought forward in the congressional hearing, Kirkpatrick would then say, AARO examined every claim in the press and social media of CIA experiments, leaked government documents, technology tests purportedly in the presence of aliens, physical examinations of ET spacecraft, collections of ET materials in possession of private companies, and so on. We found them to be the product of mistaken, overheard conversations, falsified documents, the misinterpretation of unexceptional terrestrially manufactured material, None of the people making these claims and interviewed by AARO turned out to have firsthand knowledge of these programs and incidents, but were mostly repeating what they had heard from others. That's going to come up in just a little bit, guys. Remember that. Remember that, repeating what they heard from others. In this article, Kirkpatrick would conclude, there's nothing wrong with people asking the government to definitely investigate some of these things and put some evidence on the table and show what is true and what isn't. Where it becomes an issue is when it is a continuous hammering of this until they get the answers they like, even though everything uncovered to date points to the contrary. People need to understand that their beliefs are being exploited, either by people in the US or people in other countries for gain. If the American public understood fully that they're being taken advantage of, they address things differently, because Americans do not like to be taken advantage of. Whew. This was a scathing interview to say the least. It sounds to me like this is kind of Kirkpatrick's death knell, right? Like these are his final words. He did some interviews, you know, a couple written things. He had like a weird tirade on LinkedIn of all places. And now this what I feel is going to be his final words on all of this. Robert Chaffee says Kirkpatrick was useless and he's just making up excuses. I'm going to go up in the chat because I'm really interested to hear what you guys say. Because I'm going to be honest, there's some things I do agree with him on when it comes to a lot of this stuff. Like, I'm sure it was frustrating and exhausting for Kirkpatrick and others at Arrow to like hear these testimony and then be like, okay, what do I do with this? Okay, you say there's these programs and you know 40 people who worked on them. Okay, names. Let's get them. Like, I can go talk to them. I can't do that. Oh, okay. Well, do you have any documents? No, I can't show you those. Oh, okay. So I understand the frustration that he must have dealt with a lot of these things. Most of ufology is stories. Always has been. Always will be. It's when the stories can line up with evidence that we have truth. We have basically unadulterated truth. But it's rare. It's rare. Sorry, guys. Just going up in the chat. Forgive me. Want to get your voices up in here. Biologist is not a fan. He's a bozo. I love that word. Biologist. Bozo. Reminds me of the 1950s. He's such a clown, Pat says. You guys do not like Kirkpatrick. I get it. Suzanne said something in the private chat that I will not repeat. It's you need a Q clearance to read what she put there, guys. For $9.99 and above in the super chat, I'll tell you what she said about Kirkpatrick. All work, low pay. I would be surprised if there was some kind of disinfo within the ranks just to create that kind of confusion if they were covering up something like this. Yeah, totally. That's definitely a viable sort of theory. There's always disinfo going on all the time on all topics within the government and intelligence agencies. Up from down, left from right, stovepiping, counterintelligence. You name it, there's disinfo. All right. It looks like we've made it to kind of our final story of the night, guys. Let me Gareth, you got your tea, man? Nice and steeped. Rocking that Earl Grey, I hope. All right, because we're moving to kind of our last story of the night, guys. It's going to be a quick one tonight. I'm getting ready. Going to Nova Scotia. I got to pack. Not to mention I have like 4 more interviews to record before I go. Ooh, all work low pay's got some pear secco. That sounds so good. So good. Lancashire tea. Nice. Rival to Yorkshire tea. That sounds good, man. I don't have an image? Aw, I thought I put an image in here. Well, you're getting a sneak peek at everything we're talking about at the end. All right, well, you're just going to have to look at my mug. James Webb. What's happening with that? Twitter is abuzz because there's rumblings going on that James Webb has found something. detected something big, possibly artificial, alien, extraterrestrial, I guess. I don't know. What is going on, guys? I can't pretend to have any insight on all of this. I will tell you something after we watch a clip about my pursuit of trying to find any truth to this story that's going around. But if you've been on Twitter, UFO Twitter, yes, that's a thing. If you've been on it today, you've heard about this James Webb story. Jimmy Church was talking about it. Ross Coulthard, Vetted, the YouTube channel Vetted. Psychoactivo podcast, which we're going to show a clip from, has been talking about this as well. Has James Webb found something to cause classified NASA briefings? So Matt Laszlo, again from Askapol, he posed an interesting question like yesterday, I think, to Representative Andre Carson, who also sits on the Armed Services Committee. And he asked Carson, has he ever been a part of classified briefings on the James Webb telescope? And Carson would respond, no comment, my brother. Which is an interesting response. He easily could have just said no, or even yes, but it's classified, so I can't say anything. The no comment, it always leaves that little hint, that little glimmer of possibility. Or it could mean absolutely nothing. It could literally mean no comment, no, but I'm not going to even comment on it. However, this sort of comes on the heels of this rumor that apparently I was not aware of, but apparently some in the UFO community have been for a while now, that James Webb did find something and has been briefing the scientific community, the space agencies, and Congress about something that they found. Which... like, is literally what we all dream about, right? That James Webb would find whatever, technosignatures, biosignatures, proof of life elsewhere. And now that this rumor is going around that it's actually happened, I'm like, ugh, that's a little scary. But is there truth to it? I'm going to play a clip. This is our good friend Pavel over at the Psychoactivo podcast. And he was on with Vetted and a couple other people, and they kind of talked about what their sources have said about this. So I'm going to play that clip, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about this James Webb thing on the other side. So check this out.
There are briefings unclassified where people from Congress are being told that James Webb made a discovery. The second discovery was tasked to look at a possible incoming contact, so an object that they spotted. This person that I've been talking to was asked to not talk about the details yet, but they can tell me that the first discovery, the lights, came from ESA, the European Space Agency. The other one is coming from the USA Canadian team, also from James Webb though, but they're the ones leading this investigation. It was tasked from either the NSA or the DoD. They don't know who's the one tasking it. This object is making moves, braking moves, and course correcting moves. So that means that it is not a natural satellite. That means that it is not an asteroid either. It's coming this way, and it is massive. I wasn't given speed of this object. I wasn't given dimensions. It was very vague, and this is what Congress people are being told as well. But there is another nugget of information that they're being told, which is the reason they are doing these unclassified briefings. Because apparently there is some level of urgency. That doesn't mean that it's a threat, but it needs to be looked at and it needs to be studied.
I think we found we could possibly have found a signature of an ET, of an alien technological signature. We can't really nail it. We need more data, but that's what they're doing right now. Pavel, that's why James Webb is looking for optical signatures, and that's why all these telescopes in the world, radio telescopes, are focusing in to get more data and get out of the LIS, get out of the low information zone. I think they found something. So Breakthrough Listen is funded by a very rich gentleman who's put all this money because he knows, money where his mouth is. He knows that something big has been found, and he wants to, I think, in the next 5 years, actually announce that Breakthrough Listen, are actually going to find something and actually have proof. I think the big announcement is going to come from Oxford in England, which is the headquarters of Breakthrough Listen, and on social media, because we're digging.
What do you guys think? Here's my issue, and I can be just as guilty as anyone of doing this at times, and I have probably done this, I will admit that, is spreading rumors. I'm not saying that Pavel or any of these gentlemen are the ones who spreaded these rumors. I firmly, genuinely believe that they are talking to individuals who claim to know something about this story. But then, I was going all over Twitter today and I saw Ross Coulthard talking about this. I saw Jimmy Church talking about this. I literally just spoke to someone on Twitter right before we went on air here, and they said, I spoke to someone who is part of is an astronomer, works at a place, and they physically witnessed this, whatever this object could be, whatever James Webb has detected or somebody has detected. And it's so hard because I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. I'm not blaming anyone, but when it comes to YouTubers, myself included, or podcasters, and it's just this constant cycle of the same thing, like going round and round and round. Yet nobody is willing to say who these individuals are that they heard this from, or if these are unclassified briefings allegedly going on. Matt Laszlo asked Andre Carson about classified briefings. That's one thing. But if there's unclassified briefings going on, then why can't the public know about it? Why aren't any Congress members reporting on this? Maybe Matt Laszlo will have more information as the days go on, as this story unfolds. Or it's all just a big rumor. Someone lit the flame, and it's up to YouTubers and podcasters and hopeful people like us who want these things to be true, to spread that fire. So I don't know. It's an interesting story. I'm looking forward to any developments. Again, I don't want this to come off like I'm shaming anyone, because I'm literally talking about it right now. Therefore, I am a part of the supposed problem with the rumor mill. But I will say this, I am pursuing some more information on this. I have reached out to 2 of my contacts at the European Space Agency, and have asked them about this. Is any of this true? Have you heard anything about an object that James Webb or other telescopes have possibly detected, seen? What's going on? What is going on? Is it true? Is it not true? I'm still waiting. In fact, let me go. I'm going to do this live on air. I'm going to see if they answered me. Where's my phone? Give me 1 sec, guys. If they did, I will read it to you. I will have to check when I'm back in the office tomorrow. You can't make this shit up. I'm not. That was the message I got, guys. I'm going to give them a day to get back to me about it because I highly respect this individual, and I will give their name tomorrow if they allow me. So yeah, hopefully I will have some clarification on some of this because Pavel even said that individuals at the European Space Station were the first to detect some of these possible things going on. And the person I know is pretty high up at the European Space Agency. And yes, I will name them tomorrow if they allow me and if they give me any information. So stay tuned for that. What do you guys think? I did a poll on Twitter. So I'm going to go ahead and go up to that really quick. Give me 1 sec. Did the James Webb telescope detect some sort of alien object heading towards Earth? Let me refresh it, actually, because I think I had this saved from a while back. There we go. This should be the most current poll. Out of 283 votes, 23% of you said yes, 22.3% said no, 51% said need more info, 3.2% said don't give an F. Yeah, this makes sense. We need more info. We need more info, or this is just yet another rumor started online. I mean, guys, where is the 23-minute video of the triangle coming out of the water? Come on. Never happened. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but we never got it in any way, shape, or form. Rumors. Let's get rid of that. And we did a poll right here on YouTube as well. Out of 86 votes, 22% of you said yes, they did detect something alien. 14% said no. 63% of you said need more info. So there you go. It's pretty even with the Twitter poll. So we'll see, guys. We'll see if there's anything to this or if it's just going to fizzle and fade into obscurity. Or it's going to be the biggest news ever. We shall see. And I promise I'll let you know when I hear from my European Space Agency person very soon. We're going to end tonight with a fun story, a space story to sort of tie in to James Webb. And that's our new moon. We have a new moon, guys. Did you know that? Our second cousin came to town without calling us. And we weren't ready. We didn't have the room ready. We didn't go grocery shopping. Nothing. They just showed up out of nowhere like they always do. And they're going to eat all of my Honey Nut Cheerios and not buy me a new box. Ugh. What's going on? New moon. Temporary moon, that is. The story comes to us from space.com. Earth will be getting a second moon in the form of an asteroid, which will start orbiting our planet later this month. The space rock's celestial sojourn was detailed recently in a study published in the non-peer-reviewed journal AAS Research Notes. So this is cool, guys. And you know, kind of a thing now is ending with these TikToks from Astro Alexandra. And she, of course, commented on this. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. And we'll get a little bit more specifics about our new temporary moon. But let's go ahead and give this a watch. And we'll start to close things out. That's somewhere in the live stream. Check it.
Oh, what's that? An extra moon. We have one. For the next couple of months, we're gonna have a new bonus moon. Last month, scientists detected a new asteroid headed towards the region of Earth. It's about 33 feet wide, so about the size of an RV. And look at this orbit. It's going to completely circle the Earth over the next 2 months, which makes it a moon. And then it's going to leave again. This asteroid was going to be nearby, and Earth's gravity was strong enough to grab it and bring it in for a quick orbit, but not strong enough to completely capture it and make it a permanent moon at the trajectory and speed it was traveling. I don't know where it came from, I don't know where it's going, I don't know what it's made of, but I do know it's an asteroid and it's not going to hit us. And you're just going to have to believe me that the moon is there, because it's going to be too small and too far away to see it without equipment. This isn't actually that weird, it's happened quite a few other times, and Earth currently has 7 other quasi-satellites, which are like kind of moons, but they don't just orbit Earth, so they're not moons. The moon is Earth's only true child.
7. Could they be 7 dwarfs? Like dwarf planets? Come on, Suzanne, come on. Thank you. That was one of the worst dad jokes I've ever had. Anywho, this is so cool. I think it's just so cool. We have a new temporary moon. Again, a special thanks to Astro Alexandra. If you guys aren't following her, be sure to do that over on TikTok or Twitter. Just search for Astro Alexandra. Let's see here. The asteroid won't occupy the role for nearly as long as our main moon, which has been circling the Earth for a staggering 4.5 billion years. Can you believe that, guys? 4.5 billion years. Time and space are just incredible. Incredible. Wow. We really ran the gamut tonight, guys. I told you we were going to have ufological whiplash. That was a fun show. But before we go, I'm going to get to your starred chats and your questions as well, and give you a little tease about what's coming up here over at Somewhere in the Skies. We have a ton of cool stuff going on. Trust me. And that includes me going to the Shag Harbor UFO Expo. I am now a guest speaker at this event that will be coming to you guys September 27th through the 29th in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. So for any of my Canucks out there, I would love to see you at the event. I just completely overhauled my presentation. I'm so happy and proud of it. So I hope anyone in the Nova Scotia area or over there on the east sort of coast of Canada can make it to the Shag Harbor UFO Expo. We have an amazing list of speakers: Bryce Zabel, Chris Rutkowski, Jennifer Stein, and Shag Harbor UFO researcher Chris Stiles. We also have joining us special host of the event, Martin Willis from Podcast UFO, and we have filmmaker Darcy Weir, who will be showing his brand new documentary about USOs. And we also have MUFON investigator Eric Tessier. So, guys, if you can make an impromptu trip out to Nova Scotia, I would absolutely love to meet you guys, talk UFOs, and hear what you think of my presentation. For tickets and more info, please visit shagharborufoexpo.com. That's harbor with an O-U, unlike us Americans, that would just be harbor with an O. shagharborufoexpo.com. Be sure to check it out, and I look forward to seeing you guys there. Also, we just dropped a brand new episode of Graham Rendell's Bite-Sized UFOs. These are historical UFO cases in 20 minutes or less, hosted by Graham Rendell. We are the official home of Bite-Sized UFOs, the podcast. And we just dropped a brand new episode about the Marcilly Servien occupant case out of France. So you can go listen to that right now on the main feed of the podcast. And I'd love to hear what you guys think. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe to the Bite-Sized UFO YouTube channel right here on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, just type in Bite-Sized UFOs and it should pop up for you. Let's get those numbers up over there for Graham. If you're just looking to listen to the audio version, again, you can find that right now on the Somewhere in the Skies podcast feed. Speaking of which, our Anomicon presentation by Christina Gomez is our podcast episode this week. I thought it was very appropriate for all the Senate and House hearing UFO stuff going on. No, I was not expecting the news about the UAPDA to happen right before this, but nonetheless, so much has happened when it comes to UFOs, Congress, and whistleblowers, and Christina covered it all for us. So you will be able to hear that podcast episode in the next couple hours, right again on the main feed of the podcast, titled The Congressional UFO Hearing and Whistleblowers, A Timeline by Christina Gomez. So be sure to check that out as well. And that's it for slides. I think, did I forget? I did. I forgot a slide. Darn. I should mention that the following week, we have the one and only Stanley Milford Jr. from the Paranormal Rangers joining us. His new book is coming out, The Paranormal Ranger, on October 1st. And I was incredibly honored to be the first interview of Stan's the day the book comes out. We talked for almost an hour and a half, and I will say it is one of the most powerful, inspirational, and emotional interviews I've ever conducted. And that is with Navajo Paranormal Ranger Stanley Milford Jr. So you can check that out coming next week to the podcast as well. It is available, the early access version, to all of our Patreon subscribers and Apple Premium subscribers and YouTube members right now. So if you want to listen to that right now, get the early access, join any of those, patreon.com/somewhere skies. You can listen to it right now. Yeah, it's going to do it. So let's go to our starred stuff here, guys, before we close things out. Again, I want to say thank you to Jim, to Like Spinning Pats, to James Craig, to the Vagabond Tree for your super chats, guys. Thank you so much. RWS, what's happening with Grush at the moment? He seems to I think it got cut off. He seems to be missing, or MIA, I'm guessing is what you're saying. Currently, and you know, Suzanne can probably speak to this in the chat a little bit too. He's involved in a major lawsuit actually going on right now. So that's probably what a lot of his time is being spent on right now. And also the investigation with him and the Inspector General is still going on, you know, in terms of all the claims that he has made at the congressional hearing and whatnot. So I'm sure he's got his hands full right now with a lot of that stuff. So that's just a guess. I have no knowledge of what David Grush is up to. Suzanne says, I'm following the Grush lawsuit. There was just some big hearings. I'm waiting on the orders that will be entered on those hearings, and then I'll give an update. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you. Yeah, she's constantly sending me the correspondence between her and the individual she's getting this information of. That's why I pay is to have an attorney as your moderator. Gary, really love your witness testimony compilations. They constitute a form of disclosure and are so enthralling, bewildering, compelling, in high contrast to what is happening in Congress. Thank you, Gary. I truly do appreciate that. That's what my entire presentation is going to be about in Shag Harbor. You know, kind of a continuation of my books and the witness account series of which you speak of the podcast. Yeah. Stories have been with us since the dawn of time. They have been here long before us. They will be here long after all of us leave this mortal coil. Stories are probably the most immortal thing, infinite thing. And that's why I love them. That's why I think they're so beautiful and powerful. They can change lives. They can destroy lives. They can make life. Just why I love being a writer. And that's why I'm very appreciative that you enjoy the witness accounts. More to come, my friend, more to come. That's for sure. Monkey Land. I always like these live streams that Ryan does. He's such a nice person to listen to. Thank you, Monkey. That's very kind of you. I feel like I was a Debbie Downer tonight with some of this stuff, guys. I'm sorry. I just like it just gets exhausting, especially when you've been doing this for as long as I have, and I know a lot of you have as well. Probably much longer than I have. You just don't do a YouTube thing like I do every week. Drinking my Melbeck. How did that get empty? Who drank this? I don't remember even drinking this. That's weird. It wasn't. She says like it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Richard has a question. Did you watch the interview with Whitley Strieber on the Danny Jones podcast last week? It was pretty off the wall. If so, what did you think? I did not get a chance to watch that. I know Whitley was recently here in the UK speaking at an event. I heard it went pretty well. But no, I have not seen that interview. Whitley's on his own journey. That's really all I could say. He's on his own journey. Where that journey is taking him, I don't know. But God bless him. God bless him. He's a fascinating person. I've had him on the show in the past. Android Paranormal, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. Or maybe the James Webb telescope discovered Planet 9 that physicists have theorized, and it's going to make its closest pass in 2026 and change our orbit around the sun. Oh, God. That's terrifying. Major consequences, but maybe not alien related. Good point. This doesn't have to be alien related. Like, some have said that whatever this object is, it's planet size. Ugh. Could it be? Could it be Planet 9? Ugh. I want to think about it. Let's wait till we hear from my contact tomorrow at the European Space Agency. Please don't be Planet 9. I'm just getting used to this planet. Let's see. Don't forget that like button. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. Hello to J. Ellen Heineken. I didn't see you there, my friend. I'm so sorry. Oh, I saw someone ask about my tattoo in the chat earlier. I think I found that somewhere. I can't really show it. Can't get a good angle. My tattoo is the top half of a typewriter. This is not doing it any justice. I apologize. Top half of a Corona Smith typewriter, and the text that the typewriter typed is Dismantle Repair, which is a song title from my all-time favorite band, Anne Berlin. And it's just a song that means a lot to me for many different reasons. It's one of my favorite songs by the band. So go check it out. Go check out Anne Berlin, Anberlin. And check out the song Dismantle Repair. Yeah, they've been my favorite band for a long time. I've been through a lot with that band in my life. They've literally saved my life in many, many different ways through their music. So yes, I thought I would forever get something of theirs on me. And I just love typewriters, obviously, as a writer. So yeah, it's doing okay. It's getting a little faded with age, so I might get some touch-ups on it as well. And then I have one other tattoo. I don't know if I've ever shown you guys this one. No, that's not the Riddler. It's the typewriter font of a question mark. I don't know why I'm doing it like that. Here, that's a little better. Funny story about the question mark tattoo. I was in Roswell, New Mexico, and I happened to be just out in the desert, and there was this tiny tattoo shack that had a huge alien head on it. I'm like, done. I'm going in there. I don't care. I don't know what I'm getting, but I'm getting my first tattoo. And I went in. Tattoo artist was incredible. He had all these X-Men characters and superheroes all over him. I was like, oh, those are pretty sweet. Who did them? Like, I did. He literally tattooed all of these things all over his body, and they were the most intricate, like comic book accurate X-Men and superheroes I'd ever seen. So I'm like, yes, you're doing my tattoo. It was awesome. It was awesome. I will never forget that day in the middle of the Roswell Desert where a possible UFO crash and getting my first tattoo. I will always have that permanent souvenir. So I love it. I love it. I think I got everything, guys. Let me double check. Yeah. All right, guys. That's gonna do it for tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out for an hour and a half with us. I know it was a roller coaster of emotion, to say the least. I apologize if I was a little negative tonight, but I'm kind of over it. I'm over all of the government UFO stuff. Bye. Goodbye. Bye. Go somewhere. We have more important things to talk about. So that being said, I don't know if we will be here next Sunday for the live stream yet. I'm heading to Canada on Wednesday. I don't have my filming schedule just yet in terms of times and dates and all of that, but I promise I will let you guys know on Twitter and right here on YouTube if and when I will be able to do this next week. But let's just say for now, yes. Let's go with yes. I can usually make anything happen. Thank you to Dave for the safe travels. I appreciate that, buddy. Really, really do appreciate that. And yeah, you can keep up with everything I'm doing, guys, on Twitter, on Instagram. I'll be posting all about my ghost excursions as I head to Nova Scotia to hunt ghosts. Man, I do know our first location we're going to investigate is the same place where I got a huge physical burn on the back of my neck while in a church. So thanks, Paul Kimball, for that being our first place back. Really appreciate that, buddy. You can actually watch the clip of me with the burn right now on my personal Twitter account. You can follow me at Ryan Sprague 51, I think is my Twitter account. I did post that video. Paul was kind enough to put that out there. And you can catch the new season of Haunted that will be premiering in just a couple weeks, actually, if you're in Canada. If not, it'll be available on YouTube, hopefully somewhat soon. They're rolling out the seasons of Haunted right now. They're on season 4. I don't show up till season 11 or 12, but hopefully soon. Fingers crossed. But yeah, guys, we have so much coming up. Just because I'm going to be ghost hunting doesn't mean I'm done with UFOs by any stretch. So stick with me. Thank you for your patience, your kindness, for your support of either my sister's GoFundMe or for all of our endeavors here. I truly, truly do appreciate all of it. Special thanks to all of our Patreon subscribers, YouTube members, Apple Premium subscribers, all the super chats, all the donations. Thank you. And it's always a huge thank you to our moderator, Suzanne, for doing a wonderful job tonight. And it's going to do it, guys. So I will leave you, as always, with... wait, hold on. Did I check? I see a bunch of super chats, or start things. Want to make sure. Okay. We'll play those during the credits, guys. Thank you. Thank you for sticking with us. And hopefully I will see you next week here at somewhere in the live stream. And remember, keep your feet on the ground, but never stop searching somewhere in the skies. Take care, and I'll see you in Shag Harbor.
There's nothing to hide.
There's nothing to hide at all.